Sweet. All right. So today, some pretty good and not bad news whatsoever, but like we're happy with the outcome of today. Um, so as of yesterday, I completely restructured my plan as far as how frequently I'll be lifting and what lifts I'll be doing throughout that week. I'm doing a 6 day split, and I personally think that that's a lot of volume, but I already explained it in like my last video. The the state of recovery that I require, I'll be like as long as I'm getting good nutrition, adequate amount of sleep, I'll be fine. Like a lot of lactic acid buildup, not lactic acid buildup. That's not what makes you sore. The soreness comes from micro tears and stuff. Um, I'll be good. You know, thoroughly stretching out after my workouts and active stretching before my workouts. Um, and I've felt great today. Um, so Monday is our bench day, and so is Thursday. Thursday is also our bench day. So today we did, which I was actually really happy that we even got this kind of weight up. But we did 225. Oh, that's a three. We did 225 for three for um, for 5 sets. And the only issue that we came into is one, every single rep, I was more or less touch and going. I need to, I'm going to stick with 225 this week and next week um, for the main fact that I need to pause it on my chest. I need to have more development at the bottom portion, which um, even then, like, this is a much better start than starting at 205. But I'm grateful that I was strong enough for the 225, especially because I was really scared about um, my pectoral major strain and it kind of leading into my shoulder, and I was wondering if it was going to bear too much weight. I'm also grabbing still relatively narrow, um, which moving on today on Mondays, it's more shoulder and chest mobility, and also like just that's mainly what I'm prioritizing on that day. And then Thursday is mainly tricep, and um, that's kind of it. It's just the triceps. So I've been incorporating a lot of pin press, which, if you don't know what a pin press is, the best way to explain it is you set the rack at a comfortable height that's not some, it's like a little above of where you're struggling, so you can kind of like ease yourself into the motion. So what I did is after I did 225 for 5 sets of 3, I then went on to do 135 for 5 sets of 3. Um, but instead, I did wide grip outside the rings on the knurling, and then we did like 5 to 8 second negatives. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then very fortunate with how this the rack is set up is I can get the bars like I'm touching my chest just as I touch my chest slightly before I touch the bars, which is perfect. And then we're exploding up with like as much power as possible. And the reason we're doing that is because I can comfortably press that weight without like worrying about maybe the health of my shoulder and whatnot, or my chest or anything like that. And it also allows me to control the weight and get more reps in for my chest. It's more volume for my chest. No, yeah. One thing that I'm kind of realizing, and I don't know why, but I'm like I'm so in the zone that I don't realize how much energy and like I'm just wasting because I'm like death gripping the bar every single time. I don't know what that's about, but I'm excited to continue this endeavor. And then I just think I had a great bench day today. After that, we moved on to military press, and then we had shoulder press or dumbbell shoulder press and lateral raises. So that was I thought today was a good, kind of like upward movement or working on the bottom portion. Um, Carrying on, I'm hoping that I'll be able to set the rack higher and do pin press movements with like it'd be really cool if we could do 315, even if it's just like that range, because that will help, help my nerves and tendons and just like prepare my body to hold that weight. It will also help maybe with my wrists because my biggest fear is my wrists not. It's okay to have like bend in your wrist, but it's not okay to be like so far back that it's causing you to pull the weight closer above your chest or above your shoulders when you're pressing. Um, and that's kind of what was happening with how hard I was death gripping. As on the last couple of sets, like it just felt so hard to like hold. I have no idea why. I just don't think my hands are used to. It's been a really long time, so I don't think they're used to just squeezing that much weight. Um, yeah, I mean, even with the 225 for three for 5 sets, I think I could comfortably do 225 at a comp. Um, I could definitely do 225 for an opener at a comp. Um, which even if oh my gosh, I keep writing like the wrong thing, but it's nice to write these out. So I know what I'm mentally thinking about. Even if I'm at 225 and the goal is 315, I'm 90 pounds off. And if we take our last goal of making sure that we can bench it in 24 weeks, so 90 divided by 24. I suck at basic math, dude. Okay, that's wrong too. 90 divided by 24. 24 goes into 90 three times. Um, I think. Yeah, it does. Which will leave us with 672. 90 minus 72 is 90 minus 72. Yeah, leaves us with 18. Drop the 0, and we're looking at a really large number. It's not 10. It's probably not 9. It's probably like, I think it's like 5. No, it's definitely not. It's like 6. Right? 6 times 24, 127. It's probably 7. I'm going to guess it's probably 7. Yeah. Let's see. Let me just redo my math again. 28 plus 140, 168. Yeah, that's the most it could go in. So 3.7 pounds per week. Um, which if a lot of people don't know, that's literally just at most 5 pounds. So like you could just slide the 2.5 pounds, every 2 weeks, and then just slide 1 pounds on because like if it's 3.7 over every single week, that's how much we gotta gain. Yeah, I can't really explain it better in words, but like I think I can comfortably add like about 5 pounds every single week or 2 weeks. Um, Not 5 pounds each side, 5 pounds total on top. But for the rest of this week, we're still sticking with 225 because it's the smarter thing to do. Moving on from the weightlifting, actually, well, the last thing I have to say is um, I'm really excited to get back into squat. Like my ankle still kind of hurts, but I kind of just realized that once you apply more pressure and just power through the movement, it's whatever. And my quads feel great. And I know it's going to carry over and translate well to the bottom portion of my deadlift, which is where I'm kind of like struggling a bit. It's also going to help me at least some of the accessory movements I'm doing with squat, like uh, pin squat, which is the same as a pin press, um, front squat, and I forgot the other one. But a lot of those will aid in me being able to brace my core better and allowing me to have more stabilization, especially um, at the bottom portion, where your glutes and your lower back are really active trying to maintain, um, linear motion. Um, and I'm excited to see how that carries over with the deadlift. I think it's going to be great. As far as my diet is concerned, I will no longer be eating the 20-gram burritos because like they're 600. And I think this is like slightly under. I think they're almost 700. I think they're like 675 or something. Um, but let's just say they're 650 to make myself feel better. Right, 650 times 2, you're looking at 1,300 calories for 40 grams of protein. That is not worth it. And then especially because that is worth it's $3.98 because each burrito is $1.98 or $1.99. Yeah, $1.99, and that just doesn't work for me. I want to be in better shape, and I didn't weigh myself today. I'm gonna start weighing myself probably weekly, so I don't have to mentally think about it and prioritize it. But I still need to lose 22 pounds to be competitive, and simply by cutting those burritos out first, let me backtrack. I've replaced those burritos because I still need to get that protein intake. I've replaced them with Tyson chicken strips. You may be thinking, well, that's silly. Why would you do that? Those don't taste nearly as good. Wrong. They taste amazing. And not only do they taste amazing, they're also uh, great on my macros. They help me get a better source of iron than the burritos did, and they're slightly higher in protein. So there's 7 servings per bag that I purchase, and the bag was, I don't even know if I have a receipt for it. It'd be really, 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 really cool if I did. I don't think I do. That's fine. Off the top of my head, I think it was like 1180, something like that. So, take that 1180 and divide it by 7. We're looking at, oh my gosh, I hate that I have to do like math in front of people because I suck at it. Um, then, shoot, 7 goes in 11 once, so 11 minus 7, 4, drop the 8. 7 goes into 48. Why does that feel like a proper number? It's not. Um, it can go into it 6 times, um, 42. You're left with 6. Drop the 0. 60. How many times does 7 go into 60? 56. 8 times. Right, and then so on and so forth. So we're going to round up to 1 point. So it's currently $1.68. We're just going to round up to $1.70 per serving. That's amazing when you consider the fact that it's 22 grams of protein and it's only, I think it was per serving like 160 calories or 100 and it was definitely, yeah, it was like 160. It, if it's more or less, it kind of doesn't really matter because we're trying to lose weight. And this kind of sets us on track. And we haven't started doing cardio yet, but once we add cardio, the weight's kind of just going to fall off, right? Like I'm going to stable back out probably around 210 right now. Again, I'm like 220. Within a month, I'll probably be back down to 210. But, you know, we multiply that serving amount by 2 because we're consuming that much every day for $2. Ooh, what's 70 plus 70? 140? Yeah. Yeah. So it's 340. So it's literally 1,300 calories and 40 grams of protein compared to 320 calories for 44 grams of protein. I don't know about you. That's amazing. So, in a basic sense, it's also cheaper. It's way cheaper. I can manage this way more consistently, um, especially throughout a week period. Yeah. So, if we take that 1,300 overall and we subtract the 320 from it, to see how many leftover or how many calories we're in a deficit by just simply by cutting those out. We're left with 980. Okay, 980 calories over the course of a 7 days. Um, we gotta do some calculator because I'm not doing that in my head. I'm too bad at math. We're left with a deficit. It's not really a deficit because my maintenance, those calories are probably over my maintenance, but this brings us far down to where we're at 6,800 or yeah, 6,860 calories simply by transitioning from those burritos to the Tyson chicken strips. And that's awesome because that's close to 2 pounds a week of just like empty calories. That's like amazing. That means I can either, you know, micromanage my nutrition and, get the best out of maybe those excess calories if I need to. But that puts us way ahead of our goal because beforehand we were trying to lose not that much. We were trying to lose, I think, for the 90 kg weight class, bench dead 72, 15 pounds. I'm trying to find how much weight we were trying to lose. I mean, 22 pounds over 24 weeks. That's zero point 0.9 roughly. It's like zero point 0.9 pounds per week. We are in, we're way over that already. Like, so this is really good. Um, Obviously, we're not going to try and starve ourselves because we need to maximize our our performance. We need to make sure that we're on top of our nutrition, at least our protein and our electrolytes, because I can't afford to get injured if I get closer to it. Um, as far as like the macros go, we're looking at just that's 44 grams of protein just from the chicken, and then the current protein powder we switched. Um, the Rise Peppermint, I love it. It's great, tastes delicious, but it was kind of giving me like a really bad acid reflux. And I don't know if that's just me, but I know that, peppermint helps open up like the airways and it can also cause bad acid reflux. So I think it might just be that's peppermint and that's what's causing it. And before that, I was doing the Fruity Pebbles protein powder from Dymatize. I love that too. But we're transitioning to the Ghost Nutter Butter. I think in calories, the Nutter Butter is way higher. It's about 160. So, not terrible, not great. I've seen ones that were more. So, this is pretty good. But it's 26 grams of protein per serving. So, we're just going to put PP for protein powder. Um, so, that's already put us at 70 grams of protein. Um, and then I've been eating twice a day. I eat, um, or at least starting today, because we're trying to change up our dietary habits too. Um, Prior to this, I didn't eat cake, I didn't eat desserts, and like I don't eat what the galley serves. The only thing I eat at the galley consistently is the I would eat the beef, the pork, the chicken, um, and whatever vegetables they serve. Normally it's like parrots or carrots, carrots, peas, corn, spinach, green beans. I don't really eat the spinach all that much. I'm gonna start because it's like nothing in calories. I think it's like 15 calories for like a handful of spinach. So what we've ended up doing is we've swapped all of our protein that we get at the galley for fish. We are only eating the fish, and I would say today we had, and I can probably consistently do it because they always serve fish. It's like always on there. If not, they always serve chicken. So chicken, fish, beef. You know what I mean? Um, but 5 ounces of no, it was definitely like I think it was like 8 ounces because that's how they serve it is, but we're gonna call it 6 because we want to make sure that we're um, staying realistic. Because what if they serve me 5? You know what I mean? Like it's probably a little more. We're gonna shoot for under. So 6 ounces of fish protein. We're looking at 38 grams. It's times 2. So we're looking at 76. 76 grams of protein just from the fish. And calorie wise, we were looking at we were looking at 350 per fish, so we're looking at 700 calories. In the end, collectively, just for our protein, we're looking at zero, or for our calories from our proteins, um, 8, 13, 8, 12. Yeah, that sounds about right. No, it doesn't. What am I doing? We're looking at 1180. 1180 just in calories for our protein that we're currently consuming. And it's not a lot, but the current amount of protein that we're consuming is 4, 6, 6, 16, carry the 1, 8, 10, 14. 146 grams, which we're falling a little short of our goal because we need to be eating anywhere between zero point 0.7 and zero point 0.8 grams of protein. And the 0.7 and 0.8. Oh, wait. Oh, wow. Wow, I thought we were going to be way under, but we're pretty much there because the 0.7 is 138 and the the 0.7 is 138 and the 0.8 is 158. Um, if that didn't make any sense, a good amount of protein to be eating while in a deficit, you should be eating at least 1 gram. But we're kind of limited with the fact that it's the galley, and I can't count all of it because it's the galley. Like they don't have like they're not weighing it out for me. Um, you can kind of guesstimate, which is what I'm doing. Um, and if it's more than zero point 0.8, that's great. But we're aiming between 0.7 0.8, and the zero point 0.7 is 138. Right. Okay. If you didn't know, you should be eating zero point 0.7 to zero point 0.8 grams of protein per pound of body weight. Currently, or I calculated it for how much I would weigh at 198 because that's how much lean mass I need, and I know I'm not 220 lean. That would be insane. 220 lean at 5'6". I'd be a trend triplet, not trend twin. I'd be a trend triplet. I'd be yoked. And I'm not. I'm probably not even 198 lean. I'm probably 165 lean. So if we can manage, if we get at 198 and we're still relatively like our numbers are good, probably going to go down in weight when we compete. Um, but the 146 grams of protein for where we're at right now is awesome. It's going to take a minute for my body to kind of calibrate and adjust because normally when you start carb depleting your body, not purposely, but like, I'm not eating the burritos anymore. So that's a lot of calories in my day that my body's not utilizing anymore. So it's going to have to start sourcing it from other things. Sometimes there's a transition period where you're not going to feel as strong. That's okay. I'm completely okay with that because I'm still getting, I eat rice, carrots. I'm probably sitting around 2,500 calories, and I'm not even doing that much. Well, um, this is probably my longest video yet. I'm gonna try and keep them shorter because I just keep rambling on. But if you guys are checking in, I'm grateful for that. And yeah, hopefully we're gonna continue to see how this journey goes.